Hey guys, it's Nana, and today I'm going to be doing the A Little Less Lonely tag. So the original tag was created by Emma, and I was tagged by Katie over at the Book Wanderer, so I will leave their links down below. Thank you to Katie for tagging me, and it's been ages since I did a tag. Actually, let me just say a general thank you to everyone who tags me in things. I always write it down and add it to my list of video ideas. I don't always get around to them, but they are on my list, so thank you just in general for tagging me in things. The first question is, a classic that seemed to get you, a book where you identified with the main character. For this one I chose The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I feel like this book comes up in my videos so often, but I just really enjoyed it. I did identify with the main character, and I think some of the struggles in this book are universal, whether or not you have a mental illness. At one point she mentions trying to figure out her life and where it's going. She talks a bit about going and working hard and getting to your goal, and then what? I just want to quickly read a quote from the book. She says, "All my life I told myself studying and reading and writing and working like mad was what I wanted to do, and it actually seemed to be true. I did everything well enough and got all A's, and by the time I made it to college, nobody could stop me." I think a lot of people think that when they get to college, or soon after college, they'll have it all figured out and they'll know exactly what they're doing, but that isn't always the case. As I was reading, I could see some of myself in Esther, and I just felt that this was a really important book to read. Question number 2 is a book that surprised you with how much it affected you, and I've got to pick A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Going into this, I thought it would be just a good read, and I was really excited to get sucked into it. Little did I know how much I would get sucked into it. I mean, I've told you guys in previous videos that this is definitely the best book that I've read in years, and it just makes me appreciate literature and appreciate that she decided to share the story with the world. So I will leave my long review to this book if you want to hear me go more in depth, but I love this book. I keep it on my nightstand because I want it to be close to me all the time, and I think about it constantly even though it's been months since I read it. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I started it, but I loved the experience of reading it. Question number 3 is a book that you read at just the right time, and for this I'm gonna go with the last 2 books in the Harry Potter series, 6 and 7. Is it possible to do a tag without mentioning Harry Potter? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I picked these up this summer right after I got back home in July. It just came at a time where I really wanted to dive back into a world that felt familiar and comfortable and just kind of lose myself in the books for a little while. So I love the series as a whole, and I just felt it was the perfect series to read this summer when I really needed an escape. So yeah, Harry Potter for the win, always. Question number 4 is a book that inspires you, and for that I picked Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is just awesome. She's one of those celebrities that I just want to hang out with, and I know we would have a blast because she's hilarious, she's smart, she seems really down to earth, and I really enjoyed listening to the audiobook of her memoir. I think my favorite little tidbit in this was good for you, not for me, and it was the idea that my idea of success may not look like someone else's idea of success, so rather than judge other people for what they do, just acknowledge that that might not be your goal, but good for their life, not for your life, and you can work towards the things that you want to do. I really enjoyed this. I think Amy Poehler is hilarious, and this was just a great read. Question number 5 is a book that calms you, and for that I picked Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I reread this a couple years ago, and it had been years since the previous time I read it. It's so nice to pick up a book that you know you liked but can't fully remember and rediscover how great it was, and that's how I felt reading this. It was just very comfortable, and I remembered how much I loved the characters and the story. I know this book can be a little bit too sickly sweet for some people and too preachy, but I just have really fond memories of it, and I love it. And the last question is a book that brings on the nostalgia, takes you back. And for this, I'm gonna choose the Redwall series. I feel like someone mentioned them in a video recently, which is why they popped back into my head. And I haven't read them since I was a kid, but I was so into this series. From what I remember, it's kind of like a toned down version of Game of Thrones, but the characters are all animals. There were several books in the series, I don't even know how many, and I just remember devouring each one. I would get them from the library, and they were huge, chunky fantasy books, and I would just read and read and read, and I just love that series so much. So when I heard someone talk about them in a video, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, maybe I need to reread these, because I know I didn't finish all of them. I read a bunch of them, but not all of them. So it might be really fun to pick them up again and see if I still like them. Thank you for watching this tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to talk to me elsewhere, I am on Goodreads, Twitter, Instagram. I'll leave all my links down below and links to all the books that I talked about. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!